Welcome back, Triple F fans, to another episode of Two Fools of Fantasy Football. Today, we got a good episode for you guys. We're going to talk about our booms and busts for Sunday night, and Monday Night Football. An updated injury report as of today, and the teams that are on bye weeks. As always, I'm Marty McFly, and with me ever is the man of the hour, the tower of power. He's too sweet to be sour. Tyler, the uncool fool.
Wow, I am Tyler, the uncool fool. That was the best intro Marty has ever given me. I appreciate that, Marty. So, welcome back, Two Fool fam. We appreciate you. We are definitely going to go over some great stuff this week. This episode is going to be phenomenal. We're going to give you some great information. We are going to start off with the bye weeks. We're going to talk about 4 teams who are on the bye. Number 1, we're going to talk about the team who has the most impactful running back into the league right now. He is the fantasy MVP. If you don't have him, you might be a little weak this week in Jonathan Taylor and the rest of the Colts gang. Also, the next team that is on a bye is a team from the South who have been on a hot streak as of lately, the Miami Dolphins. Also, speaking of teams who are on a hot streak, the team that is on the bye week, who's probably the hottest team in the NFL, who has a 6-game winning streak, the New England Patriots, or better known as the 3-game pass attack. So, and also to the team that is on the bye, I saved the best team for last because this is Marty's favorite team. He loves this team with some huge passion, the Philadelphia Eagles. I had to save that for last one because I know how much Marty loves them, being an all-out Blue Heart Cowboys fan. So I just had to say that one for last for him. So, yes, the boys are playing the Washington football team this week. We got a great boom and a great bust for that game. Cool fact about that game, the Cowboys and the Washington football team have 2 of the worst defenses in the NFL. So that look for that game to be a lot of yards, just saying. So speaking of that, now we're going to go straight into the booms and busts. The first game we're going to talk about is a game that probably nobody's going to watch unless you're a Saints or Jets fan. The boom this game is going to be the ever so needed return of Alvin Kamara for the Saints. He's been on a 4-week absence. Look for him this week to be in a limited role. But with that being said, the Jets are the worst team against the running backs in the NFL, and it's not even close. Look for him to absolutely feast this week. And the bust in the game are going to be all the Jets. So anyways, enough of that one. The next game we're going to talk about is going to be the Atlanta Falcons versus the Carolina Panthers. This game, look for the boom to be Cordell Patterson. A couple of reasons is, number 1, he is a Swiss Army knife. If there is somebody who can do a little bit of everything in the NFL plus some, it is definitely him. He's having a career year. Look for him to keep that up. The bust this game is going to be DJ Moore. Unfortunately, the Panthers have had a lot of QB issues, and that has dwindled into DJ Moore's production with the other wide receivers in that room. Also, not having Christian McCaffrey is going to be a huge hit for that team. Basically irreplaceable with Christian McCaffrey. The last game I'm going to talk about before I swing it back over to Marty is going to be the Seattle Seahawks versus the Houston Texans. Now, this game's a little bit weird. Both these teams are on the wrong side of 500. The Houston Texans are basically rebuilding. Nobody really expected this from Seattle, so this is kind of a weird thing to do. Ever since Russell Wilson's tenure in Seattle, they've never had a losing record. But the boom this week is going to be good old Tyler Lockett. He's been right now their most consistent receiver. The Houston Texans have a bottom 5 defense against everybody in the league. So this, to me, would be a great setup for Tyler Lockett to have a huge week. And the bust is going to be Braden Cooks. The Seattle defense has gotten locked down. They're getting a lot stronger. Their secondary is much better right now than it was at the beginning of the year, just like it's the same formula it was last year. So Braden Cooks is going to have a rough day in the office, especially with the Texans not knowing really who their quarterback is at this time too as well. So now I'm going to give it to my main dude over there, Mr. Peyton Manning, a.k.a. Marty McFly. And he's going to talk about, in my opinion, probably the game that is going to be won by the widest margin in the Raiders and Chiefs. Marty, go ahead and take it away, buddy.
You got it. Also, that's another game that, unless you're in Seattle or Houston, you're only going to be watching that game.
Yeah.
So we are on to Kansas City, where the Las Vegas Raiders are heading into KC. We've got our boom as Travis Kelce, because the Raiders are one of the worst against the tight ends. Covering tight. Oh, sorry. I said the worst. I didn't know they were the worst, but okay, well, apparently worst.
Yeah, they're playing the best tight end in the NFL, and they have the worst pass defense against the tight end. So, good luck.
Kelce. Okay. And our bus this week is going to be old Derek Carr, quarterback for the Raiders. Coming up next, we are heading to the Brownies. We got the Baltimore Ravens going on against the Cleveland Browns this week. Another interdivisional matchup. Our boom this week is going to be the old Chubster for Cleveland. Look for him to have a very good game against the very poor Baltimore rush defense. And our bust this week is going to be old Mr. Bateman, not Jason Bateman, not the actor. He's not playing today. He's out sick. The other Bateman, Rashad, he busted. Yes, I went. Now on to my boys versus the Washington football team. I'm sorry.
Can't say that.
Team, I guess you'd say that way. Our boom this week is going to be old CeeDee Lambsters. Look for him to have a really good game against the Washington secondary. He's been killing it lately. So look for him to continue that streak going. And our bust this week is going to be Zeke. He's nursing injuries, and even Pollard's nursing some injuries too. So I wouldn't start either Pollard or Zeke this week, even though this is going to be a high-scoring game, I believe, not a lot of yardage. But I'm thinking Prescott's going to have 400 yards passing. Even Hinckley's going to have 400 yards passing. It's going to, maybe. We'll see. At least Diggs will probably have a pick too. So we'll put that in there.
Oh, you're doing the pick prediction.
Pick prediction.
I was gonna say the pick prick, but that doesn't sound right. So the pick prediction. That didn't sound good.
No.
Nah, exactly.
Throw it back to old Tyler here with going the Jags versus the Titans.
So I'm just trying to very sneakily look up the stats for the Cowboys and the Washington football team. So the Cowboys give up 261 yards passing per game, and the Washington football team gives up 264. So
wow.
So maybe your prediction might be a slight little off.
No,
I'm just saying it could be, but I don't know. But seriously, in all seriousness, for those who you watch us consistently, you guys know I hate the Cowboys. But I can see Dak very easily passing for 350 or 375 this week, very easily. And even though his home and road splits are that much of a difference, I still could just see him just absolutely carving those guys up. Thank you, Marty. I appreciate that, man. That was awesome. All right, guys. So we're going to wrap this up here pretty soon. We're going to talk about a couple more games, and I'm going to let Marty actually wrap it up. Sorry, I spoke slightly too early on that. So the next game we're going to talk about is the Jags versus the Titans. This is going to be a really weird game. The Titans are supposed to be getting Julio Jones back. Still don't have AJ Brown, supposedly, dude. Just give it some time, dude. It's only Saturday. He still has 24 more hours to screw something up. So look for Julio Jones supposed to come back. The boom this week is going to be the running back for the Titans, Deontay Foreman, and the bust is going to be James Robinson. The Titans have a very, very nice defense against the run. They have one of the worst defenses against the pass, though. So look for James Robinson to be stifled and look for him to have a very long day in the office. The next game I'm going to talk about is the Detroit Lions, who are now not winless, if you can believe that. Not winless. It is done. Thank you, Minnesota. They are going to play the Denver Broncos. Look for the boom this week to be Javonte Williams. I hope I said that name right. If I didn't, I apologize. But Look for him to be the boom this week, and look for the bust to be Noah Fant, tight end for the Denver Broncos. The reason why we have it that way is because the Lions have one of the 3 worst rushing defenses on the NFL. So look for the Broncos just to run wild. Williams is absolutely a man among boys. He is just carrying the load. In my personal opinion, this is just me making a quick prediction. Melvin Gordon will be gone next year. This running game will be all his, and you'll see him absolutely crush it. And I believe in 23, he'll crush 2022 so well that he'll actually be a first-round pick in 2023. I don't know if that's wrong or right, but you know what? I'm going to go with it because that's what I think is the dude is that talented. The next game we're going to talk about, yes, Marty, please.
Before we go on, thoughts and prayers to Demaryius Thomas's family.
Yeah.
If you thought he passed away, only 33 years old.
Yeah.
Still not clear on what the cause of it was. But yeah, he was such a great talent. Fun watching it.
Yeah, he was awesome. People forget how good he was.
One of the best moments I remember watching him catch that pass from Tebow.
I knew it.
In playoffs versus the Steelers. First game of overtime. Demaryius went across the middle. Boom, 80-yard bomb.
Yep.
Steelers out of the playoffs. Tebow time.
Yep, that's right. Tebow time at that point was at its peak.
Yes.
At its peak.
It was such a great play. He was a phenomenal player.
Oh yeah, totally.
He's second all-time yardage receiving for the Broncos.
That's awesome.
That's
awesome.
All the last 4 or 5 years he played with Peyton Manning got him a lot of yards. He became a household when Peyton Manning got there. So
yeah, it's easy when your quarterback throws 5,500 yards per game or per season. Right. Per game's pretty impressive, but per season to rack up some yards, that kind of helps. So yeah, that if I remember correctly, which I hardly ever do, but they had Wes Welker there, they had DT, they also had the other Thomas for the tight end, and I'm missing one of Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah,
so they had those 4 guys slinging the ball. I mean, Jesus,
but yes, that's prayers and thoughts to his family.
Man, that's rough, man. Sure. Hopefully they find out what happened. Hopefully, it's something that was,
nobody's fault.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a good way of putting it, Marty. I appreciate that. So, all right, so we are going to roll right on to the Giants and the Chargers. Now this game is really weird. We're going to get into the injury report later, and you're going to understand why we're saying this is really weird. But the boom this game is going to be Austin Eckler. And the reason why he's going to be the boom is because literally the Chargers have nobody left to play this game on the offensive side of the football, which, again, we'll go into later. But it is literally a boom by default. If there is a definition, this is the ultimate definition of a boom by default. The bus is going to be Guyton, the wide receiver for the Los Angeles Chargers. Crap, I just made a boo-boo. For the LA Chargers, it's okay. It's all right. The crowds don't even know if they're playing in San Diego or LA anyways. Nobody even shows up for that team anyways. All their games at home are away games anyway, so it doesn't even matter. But yeah, he's going to have a tough game this week. And again, when we get to the injury report, you'll understand why he's going to be the bust this week. The last game I'm going to do, then I'm going to swing it over to Marty. I'm going to talk about my San Francisco 49ers against, in my opinion, the best kept secret in the NFL. And I've said this many, many times before. And I don't mean this just in fantasy. I mean this in reality too. The Cincinnati Bengals are the best kept secret in all of the NFL. If you have not seen them play, they have weapons upon weapons upon weapons. They can absolutely deal. So if you have not had a chance to watch them play in primetime, check them out, watch them out. They are a really, really good football team. So this week, the boom is going to be Jamar Chase, their number 1 stud, the guy who's taking the league by storm. Another thing I'm going to say is next year, this is just my personal opinion, he should be a top 5 wide receiver pick off the board. He should be one of the first 5 guys. So I actually have him as number 5. So I actually did this morning. I had him number 5. I had Tyreek Hill number 3, Devontae Adams number 4, Justin Jefferson number 1, and Cooper Kupp number 2. So I know I kind of went flip-flop on the order, but in my head, I didn't have it written down, so I was just kind of going by how I can remember it. But that's, in my personal opinion, the top 5 receivers going into next year, how they should be drafted.
I'll go with that.
As of right now. But again, if injury happens or something, catastrophic happens that they can't control, torn ACL, broken foot, anything like that, obviously it can change in a moment's instance. But for right now, for this time, those are the top 5 dudes right there, in my personal opinion. And then also, too, the bust this game is going to be Jeff Wilson Jr., running back for the San Francisco 49ers. Elijah Mitchell, again, we're going to talk about the injury report. He is out this week. Jeff Wilson Jr. is basically the next man up. Look for him to have a tough game this week. The Cincinnati Bengals, their defensive line is no joke. Those guys stop everybody, and they play in the toughest division. They play in the black-blue division, and they're stopping all the running backs there too. So good luck, Niners. That's all I have to say this weekend. So, and now I'm going to throw this over to Marty, and he's going to talk about probably the game of the week, the Buffalo Bills versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Marty, take it away.
Yes, thank you, Tyler. Off to the Mafia versus the Buccaneers. Them swashbuckling Buccaneers. So our boom this week is going to be the old Gronkster. He had a monster game last week, 2 touchdowns. I forgot how many yards he had, but it was the weekend for tight ends last week. So many of them had all had 2 touchdowns. Anyway,
good old Gronk.
Boom. Yeah, boom this week, old man Gronk. Old man Brady passing to old man Gronk. And our bust week is going to be Tyler's favorite bust of every week is Mike Evans. Tyler doesn't like him. Doesn't like him. Just like him.
You cut on to that?
Yeah, finally. I mean, most receiving receptions, most touchdowns, blah, 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 blah. Tyler hates Mike Evans. So
I haven't drafted that guy ever.
So. I mean, the Bucks could be playing a defense that had no safeties and no cornerbacks, and he would still say, "Oh, Mike Evans is going to be the bust."
Not dealing with that guy. But how many times have I been wrong? Like twice.
Anyway,
so
anyway, Gronk boom.
Gronk last week got 58 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 4 catches.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Not a gabby day there.
Mm-mm.
Now on to the old South Side Chicago Bears taking on the Green Bay Packers.
The
Bears versus the Packers. The Bears. And we will go with the boom with this. We will go with the ownership of the Chicago Bears, Aaron Rodgers. Part owner of the Chicago Bears will be Aaron Rodgers. He will be the boom this week. And David Montgomery. Now, this is just this game. Montgomery for the boom, for the bust. Just this game. His playoff schedule is freaking money. So if you're in the playoffs and you have David Montgomery, put him in for the playoffs. He's fine. Just this game, he's going to be our bust. And ended up on Monday Night Football. We have a great interdivision matchup right now. We have the first place team versus the second place team. We have the Arizona Cardinals traveling out west, a little bit west, just a little bit, not too far, just a little bit that way.
Can we call it Wester?
To the LA Rams.
Like Wester? They're going Wester?
Yeah, they're going there. Westerner.
Westerner? What Westerner?
Yes. Yes.
Are they saying it the best Westerner?
Save some money for the team. Stay at the Best Western. I mean, I don't see why not. I don't have a problem with the Best Western.
I don't see it either. I don't see why not.
They got a good buffet.
I mean, it sounds logical.
Got a good breakfast buffet.
Well, by the time those guys sit there and eat, there won't be any buffet left. You might eat them out of a hotel.
That's true. They could do that. Big guys. Anyway,
big guys.
Our boom this week will be, as Tyler just discussed, probably he's saying the number 1 wide receiver next year for fantasy is old number 10, Cooper Kupp. Will be number 2?
Number 2.
Or number 1?
I'd Kupp 2,
Who was number
Jefferson,
1?
Justin Jefferson number 1.
Okay, I'm sorry. Number 2, Cooper Kupp.
It's okay.
And the bust is going to be the old running back for the Arizona Cardinals, Mr. James Conner.
Yeah, tough
because it's
matchup.
very on the LA Rams.
Yeah. Super
Aaron
tough
Donald,
matchup.
joke. And Von Miller ain't no joke.
Who?
So Von Miller?
Miller time?
Miller time. Well, I mean, it's not Miller time for me. I don't work for them, so it's not Miller time. I can't say that.
That's true. Copyright infringement. You can't be doing that.
I'll lose. I can't do that.
You can't do that.
So anyway, boom in this game for Monday Night Football is going to be Cooper Kupp, and the bust is going to be James Conner.
All right.
So those are our booms and busts this for Week 14. Playoffs start next week.
Can you believe that?
This is a standard league. Playoffs start next week. So you will have playoffs if you're in a non-money league and you're just in a free league on ESPN. Your playoffs start next week. You have week 15 and 16 to get the most points. And then if you get to the championship round, you're playing 17 and 18.
Yep.
So in some leagues, maybe playoffs don't start next week. They start the week after. Don't know. But yeah, most standard leagues, this is the last week for regular season. So hopefully you made the playoffs. Listen to our advice. I know we missed a few weeks there in the middle.
Yeah, sorry guys.
My apologies. I was going through a bunch of stuff and trying to move and trying to find a new place to live. So that's why we kind of were a little lax on our videos. I apologize. We let you guys down. Hopefully you still were able to do some wins, get some wins in there, stuff like that. So, but that was our fault. Yeah. We take responsibility for that. So there will be no more missed weeks. So now Tyler is going to run through. He's going to be our own Ian Rappaport with the old injury update.
All right, guys. So I have an injury update, and then I also have some awesome news that I actually haven't told Marty yet. So he is going to learn this firsthand, just like everybody else. And I kind of didn't tell him for a reason, because if I'm wrong, I want this to be on me. But if I'm right, I want all the glories. So just saying, all of the glories, guys. Not one, all of them. All right. Anyway, so the injury update, we're going to go first. All the guys we're going to talk about are out already for Sunday. Wide receiver Mike Williams for the Los Angeles Chargers. As of right now, Keenan Allen is out too. For the San Francisco 49ers, Elijah Mitchell, running back, is out. For the Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders, I forgot where they played for a second. Darren Waller is out. DeAndre Swift is out, and Jamal Williams, running backs for the Detroit Lions, are all out right now. Okay, so now for the big news that I've been holding back. As of right now, reports are that the beast mode, Derrick Henry, is going to be back sooner than later. They're saying he might come back next week.
Wow. Okay.
So that is what they're saying right now,
Good.
that it's a possibility that he can come back week 1 of your playoff schedule.
Wow. That is it's huge.
So if you have him and you had him on your IR and you've been stashing him and he comes back and he plays in the playoffs for your fantasy football team, that is not a boost. That is a freaking, I don't even know what you call it. That's like cloud 9 stuff right there. So anyways, I did not tell Marty this. I was reading reports this morning. I was reading them nice and fresh because I was wondering what the updates were. And the update is that he is closer to returning than he is further away. They said his injury is 6 to 10 weeks. This week is week number 6. They said there is a possibility of him coming back next week.
Wow. That's great playoff news, actually.
So I'm just saying that's what they said. Obviously now anything can happen anytime. So don't get crazy hopes up. But I'm just saying there's a possibility of him playing next week for the Tennessee Titans. And right now where they're at, I know everybody's saying, oh, they have the division wrapped up against the Colts. They don't want the division. You want number one playoff seed. You want the bye for the first week. So if they're going to push them, they're going to push them to come back for that. They're not pushing them to win the division. So I've heard people say, "Well, just hold off and wait, and just win the division and just move on." No, you're not winning the division. You have a chance to get the number one seed with the number one player coming back. You're going to play him. You're going to have him go. This is the only time he's ever been hurt. As long as his foot's good, he's going. So he's had no broken arms, no shoulder stuff, no leg stuff, no knee stuff, which is a blessing. So if it's a foot, obviously that sucks, but the rest of his body's pretty good in tank and in health. He's still going to do his thing. He still hopefully has his speed, hopefully has his power. That might take a game or two to get back, but still just having the name, having him in the lineup, it's going to be good times. So anyways, that is it. That's our episode. That is our show. Hey, guys, so I've been doing some research on some stuff. I've been talking to Marty about some of the stuff I've been watching and researching. Please, I want you all to tell us what you want us to talk about. Tell us topics you want us to smash for you. Ask us questions. Here at Two Fools, we consider ourselves a family. We want to have a family atmosphere. We want you guys to all ask whatever you want on the YouTube channels, on the videos. We will respond to you. We'll respond to you the fastest that way. We have great insight with everything. Our whole goal on this thing is to get you to the next level. Just me being open and honest with you. The first couple of years I did fantasy football, I beyond sucked. If there was a new definition for it, that would be me. My picture would be in it. But over the years, I've learned a lot. I have a lot of knowledge, and Marty's in the same boat. I don't know if he sucked as bad as I did, but I know over the years he's learned just so much about this stuff. You learn like little intricacies, you learn like little details, you learn stuff to look for, and that's what we want to provide to you guys. That's what we want to give to you guys. And our goal is to try to do the best. Obviously, last year we kind of did like halfway into the year. This year we kind of missed half the year. So, it's a learning in progress for us too, but we appreciate you guys all checking us out, all staying with us. We definitely are going to help you get to that next level. And we're going to show you the way, and we're going to give you some great advice, and also too, some stuff that we look at too. Like, for example, last year I said, look at the yardage, follow the yardage, get the guys to get you the most yards because touchdowns will come. Stuff like that. Also too, it really helps if you know the matchups. Also too, if you understand what teams are struggling against what. So for example, like the Jets struggle against the run, but they're pretty good against the pass. The Houston Texans, for example, struggle against both. The Dallas Cowboys struggle a little bit against the pass. So if you know stuff like that and you understand like who's giving up the yards in what situation, then it's going to help your team a lot to elevate it. And also too, when you have guys on the waiver wire like how you have this week, or guys who get injured like Derrick Henry or stuff like that, it makes it a lot easier for you to replace them season long or week to week, depending on what your strategy is and what you feel like is the best for your situation, depending on the team that you drafted and so forth and so on. So anyways, I just want to give you guys some cool heart-to-heart stuff. So I hope you all appreciate that. If you have any questions, please let us know. I know I'm repeating myself. I apologize, but any questions, let us know. Let us know what you want us to talk about topic-wise. Also, if you have any questions like player versus player, who to start, let us know. We'll definitely respond to you. We'll let you know what our thoughts were, and then we'll explain why we see it this way too as well. That way we guide you in the right direction. And if you take our advice or don't take our advice, at the end of the day, it's ultimately up to you, but we always try to give you the best advice and facts that we possibly can provide.
That's right.
So,
guys, don't forget, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your kids, tell your wife.
That's right. Tell everybody, just let them know we're rolling, we're rocking and rolling. We're going to start doing some new stuff, some cool stuff. Me and Marty are definitely trying to get to a different platform and try to, reach out to you guys and try to help you out as much as we possibly can.
So we'll also try to do some more off-season videos as well. Maybe do I don't know if we do a live one during the NFL draft, because no one's going to be watching the draft. But I mean, you can't tell what's going to happen in fantasy football due to a draft. So
not really.
So, but we'll definitely do some more off-season videos, stuff like that. So,
oh yeah, we'll have way more fun this off season. We're definitely gonna lock it down. So, but all right. But thank you so much, everybody. We are the Two Fools. I am Tyler, the Uncool Fool, and I am signing out. And this is
Marty McFly, and we will see you guys on the next one. We'll do probably maybe 2 videos next week, and then hopefully everybody has a nice, happy holidays. Merry Christmas. I will say that. I don't, if it offends you, I'm sorry, but I say Merry Christmas. So,
or if it does, just say Mary Thomas.
Yeah.
There you go. Merry to meet you, Thomas. Does that work?
Yeah. All right.
All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your Saturday and Sunday, and hopefully you lock in that W. Oh, and Monday too. If you have anybody on the, oh my gosh, what am I drawing a blank for? The Rams and I almost said Colts. Rams and Cardinals. Holy crap, that was bad. All right, guys. All right, guys and girls. We are Two Fools, and we are signing out.